Are you trying to do what other successful Etsy businesses are doing, yet somehow they are successful at it and you are not? In today's video, I'm going to talk about why that one-size-fits-all Etsy strategy does not work, and ultimately why doing what other successful shops are doing is just going to keep you stuck where you're at. If you like Etsy videos that talk about real e-commerce strategy, make sure you subscribe to this channel. My goal here is to pack these videos with value. So let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan Jarvis. I've done over $1.4 million in revenue on Etsy, and over $1 million of that is profit. I bring a strong e-commerce background where I worked for big companies like Zappos and Zulily. I live in Southern California with my husband and my 2 boys, and ultimately, Etsy has brought us a life of financial freedom. And I know so many of you out there want that for yourselves, but maybe you don't even know where to begin. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to sift through what's out there, right? Those Etsy strategies. We look and we see all these successful shops, right? They're making millions of dollars a year on Etsy. How are they able to do that and we're not? There's all these YouTube videos who are highlighting these shops and talking about how they are successful and how to be like them. Let me save you some time. Never watch those videos because they're missing the biggest key component here, and that is that you cannot copy what a successful business does now and think that that will make you successful, because what they are doing after they are successful is usually different than the things they did to get them to that place. So we need to study the steps they took on their climb up the mountain, not the steps that they're taking now while they're at the top of the mountain. That's not going to help you when you're still at the bottom of the mountain. Another way to look at this is with Olympic athletes, right? We need to look at how that Olympic athlete trained for the Olympics from a very young age, not analyze how they performed while they were at the Olympics. What is my point here? My point is that a one-size-fits-all Etsy strategy does not work. You need different strategies for different stages of your business, and each phase of a listing's life cycle on Etsy requires different strategies. So are there business strategies that apply to all businesses and all categories? Yes, there are business strategies that I used in building my Etsy shop up to that $300,000 to $400,000 a year level that I also applied to building our rental property business, and that I also apply to building my digital product business. A lot of the strategies when it comes to building a business are the same, but they're just not all used at the same time or in the same way. But 100% yes, there are strategies that you can apply to every business you make. Otherwise, do you really believe that the strategies used to build a successful Etsy shop just came about when Etsy was created? No, many of these strategies are just core business principles that you can apply to Etsy in specific ways. So for me, where did my strategies come from? They came from strategies that I learned from other businesses. The strategies that I used as a footwear and clothing buyer for Zappos.com, or the strategies that I used in the flash sale business model when I worked for Zulily. Also, the strategies that I used in building a blog up to 8.5 million views back when I was 18 years old. And not to mention all the strategies that I learned from business school and another program that I did all about buying and product development. Not to mention strategies that other business coaches taught me from their experiences in building other businesses. So the more well-versed your background is in business, the more strategies you will have in your toolbox to deploy when needed. I've really noticed that as you learn to build different businesses, you'll learn to recognize patterns in that process, and you'll know when to pull out different strategies from the toolbox that you've used in the past in a similar situation, but in a different business. Now, since I work with Etsy sellers on building their businesses to that multi-six-figure level, I am taking everything I've learned in my background from all the different e-commerce businesses that I've learned and worked on and built, and I know which strategies, and maybe more importantly, when to apply those strategies to their businesses to help them grow to that multi-six-figure level. If my background was only in Etsy, I would not be able to do that. So does a one-size-fits-all Etsy strategy work? No. But yes, there are e-commerce strategies that really do apply to every e-commerce business. There just might be different ways and different times to deploy these strategies. I'm realizing you could turn this video into a drinking game for the word strategy, but I've had this question come up. Dylan, will your program work for a digital product business? Will your program work for a vintage business? Would your program work for a print-on-demand business? How about a handmade business? What about a supply business? And my answer is yes, because I have infused, my whole arsenal of e-commerce e-commerce strategies from Amazon to Zappos to Zulily to Shopify, and I've laid them out in a way so that you know when and how to deploy each one in your business. Also, I do offer one-to-one coaching alongside multi-six-figure Etsy Blueprint if you are looking for that one-to-one personal guidance in your business. If you want to hear more about how these strategies really work in the different stages of your business, definitely reach out. You can find me on Instagram at Dylan Jarris, or you can email me team@dylanjarris.com. All right, I'll see you in my next video.